Good evening, everybody, and welcome to teamfortress.tv as we are hyped tonight to bring you ESEA Season 18, the beginning of Season 18. We're kicking it off. Big invite match. It is Street Hoops eSports versus eLevate, and we're just beside ourselves. We want to thank everyone for joining us here, the start of the season, and I want to tell you, we're getting ready for a big, long season across all divisions, and this is your first time here, we want to just invite you, right off the bat, I want to invite you, make sure you follow us here on Twitch and follow us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. All season long, we'll be having all kinds of crazy action. My name is Getawhale, and I'm joined here by Marxist, who is going to be my co-caster this evening, a very wise man. And Marxist, you know, speaking of these two teams, Street Hoops eSports and eLevate, one of them very similar to the lineup they were running last season, but eLevate a little different. Actually, kind of a lot different, right?
Yeah, eLevate's made a few changes. I don't know how they're really going to turn out yet because I haven't got the chance to see them play yet. But I do like that I see a KBK there on Medic. He was great fun to watch a while ago. Good to see him back in Invite.
Yeah, we were just talking about KBK, the new face that some people may not know, and KBK, admittedly, a little before my time, he hasn't played an invite since Season 14, but is going to be playing on this eLevate team. One of the big changes, and then the other big change is Alpha, previously known as the Scout. He's not going to be scouting anymore. It's going to be Shrugger making his triumphant return to... well, I mean, he was on 6 Cuties last season, but he's making his return to... hopefully a team that'll last all season long. He's going to be playing Scout Alpha on Soldier. I don't know what to think of this change. If anyone has watched any scrims or anything, you can let us know, but I haven't seen a whole lot. What would you expect from this, Marxist? What would you expect to see from these guys? We obviously know Shrugger.
Well, it'll be interesting. As a guy who's played a little bit with Shrugger from time to time, it'll be interesting to see how this team chooses to utilize Shrugger, because everybody kind of knows what he brings to the table. And Alpha was, let's say, not at all like what Shrugger does typically. So it'll be interesting to see if they end up in the same kind of game, because Shrugger can play very aggressively like Alpha did last season, or he can play your more passive stay with the combo scout, which is sort of like his bread and butter. So we'll see if that changes. I'm going to say, go out on a limb here and say that the flank play of eLevate's going to be pretty different from last season just in general, even with that change.
Yeah, let's run down rosters really quick. Let's look at these lineups. I'm going to do my best because they're not all necessarily on their classes right now. I'm just looking in game, but starting with Street Hoops, I'm looking at the Scout combo is going to be Sizer and Paragon. Yeah, sorry, I can't keep them apart, Marxist. Obviously, they played on the flank last season as well. We have Ash on Roamer, and we have Grape on Pocket. We then have Ninja Nick. He'll be playing the Medic class. And, geez, you know, I hate when they're not on their proper teams. Did I hit everyone? Is that 6? I can't count.
Yeah, you got, and as long as you got Deadbolt there playing demo, then
yeah,
you're
Deadbolt playing
set.
demo. And I want to talk about that really, really quick because these guys are getting going soon. Deadbolt obviously proving that, man, oh man, what a season he had last season, Season 17 on demo. A lot of people were wondering, what are we going to see out of this guy playing demo? He stepped up, didn't he, in a big way, including at LAN.
Yeah, he did very well for a player that was mainly just known as being the part of the twin brother scout pair in his comeuppance area.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to sort of tie that in with the team eLevate here, maybe we can expect to see sort of a step-up kind of performance like that out of some of these guys who've shifted around, for example, Alpha on Soldier. At any rate, Alpha is going to be on Soldier. Mela, of course, playing roaming Soldier. Badotsky, Cyrus the Virus on Demo Man. And we have KBK, as we talked about, playing the Medic class, Decimate, and Shrugger Scout. I'm very excited to see the Decimate Shrugger combo and to see what they can pull off, because we've obviously been looking at Decimate for several seasons now in Invite, and we know Shrugger on Scout from previous teams that have played in Invite in the past, and I want to see their synergy. That's all I'm saying, Marxist. I just want to see their chemistry together.
Yeah, new teams, especially when you're an established, at this point, an established team like eLevate, it's basically a chemistry experiment when you start throwing in new players and have people switch around positions. Usually, it turns out okay, but sometimes you end up with not so great results. But I think it'll be okay for eLevate.
Yeah, we're getting word that these teams are going to be going live here any moment now, and I'd like to call the first mid, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. Do we want to do Preds real quick? Who are we thinking, Marxist? You first.
I'm gonna do the opposite of probably what's expected in seasons past. I'll go with Street Hoops.
All right, well, I'm going to call it eLevate then, but on the first mid, I do feel like watching Street Hoops. And do you know who I want to watch? I want to watch Ash. You know why, Marxist? Because he works so hard on mids. I call him the hardest working man of all. I mean, we see big bombs, obviously, out of Grape and out of some of these other guys, but I just love Ash. I think he works really, really hard. Would you agree with that?
Well, I played against Ash when he was coming up that season of Maine, that one proud season of Maine, and he impressed me there. So I have high regards for Ash.
High regards. We are live though here. No, now we're gonna have that green text any moment. I almost forgot about TF2, Marxist.
Medic!
It still shocks me every time it comes up.
We are live now, and like I say, I am looking at Ash. I'm looking for big things out of his whole Street Hoops crew, but I want to see what Ash does, and we'll switch over then, and I can see what some of these roaming dudes are going to do on this mid. Looking at these lovely uniforms, which are so fantastic as well. But we're into TF2 now, and looking at Ash, who's going to come up on this top right side here right off the bat. Going to wrap around and looking for a bomb, kind of beefs it a little bit, but comes right in on the medic and wants to take the med out right away. That'll be a big pick, and now Ash is in behind, and a scout in behind as well, but they've lost 3. It's now 3-on-2, and Ash coming back in to try to clean the scout up. Does get the pick on the scout. Still fighting it out, though, at mid. We have, looking at Mela up top with his shot. He was trying to see if he could pick somebody, but in the end, it is Street Hoops. Great mid there. What'd you see on the other side?
Yeah, I mainly saw a little bit of tentativeness from eLevate. They ended up getting punished pretty hard by the bomb. They got... I like to call it the heel box, kind of like the paint in basketball, right? They had a lot of people in the heel box there, and when the bombs came in, especially from Ash, it just kind of caught everybody looking up into the sky. So, not too bad, though. You actually got to see a unique situation there where the roamer survived mid, the 1 in a million.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing I'm noticing, we've got a crit watching effect here, Marxist. We have the crits being used by Ninja Nick, and I gotta think he's gonna give it to Deadbolt, so I'm watching this first stick here as the pressure's on. He's definitely taking Deadbolt, and he pops! First stick is out, doesn't get anything. He's got time, he's gonna try to pick someone off, but everyone out of eLevate very smartly getting out there, and Deadbolt not able to sort of thread the needle, so they're gonna get second for free, and we got eLevate at 95%, who are gonna be able to real easy here use theirs. Let's see if somebody tries to maybe eke a pick out here. Got traps being set up.
Well, it is easier to push out than it used to be, so there's that. They might try and just work in on a slow push here, and then if somebody dies on eLevate, they'll probably just yoink and call it a day. But they got to make that decision pretty quick because the crits is going to come back, and you don't want to have to be standing on the point. They are forcing them out in saw room. Mela coming out onto the train car now, sees Paragon pretty hurt down there. The Uber's popped, but there's a back cap. Yeah, there it goes.
Wow. And as easy as that, we have a back cap as Street Hoops very handily will go up 1-0. Did not see that coming. I saw blue guys creeping around. Marcus, why don't you take us through this second one as we had a real quick first round?
Alright, so I'll do the traditional thing and find myself a Badonsky to watch. Very impressed with Badonsky the last few seasons. Coming up here, not doing tons of damage yet. He's trying to work his way under the wood, as all demos do. Grape is coming for him, laying the sticks down. Also, Ash has now come. He's going to go down, and that's probably going to be the end of the show for Street Hoops on this mid. There goes Ninja Nick. Paragon trying to show off his skills here, and going to go down to Shrugger. So, pretty decent turnout there for eLevate. They'll be able to at least get something going. Mela heading on up.
Heading on up. And two things I picked out of that, Marxist, was saw Ash do the exact same thing again, which is bomb right in. Nice double jump on the med. I'm assuming he's just going to keep doing it until they can stop it. But in the end, eLevate, I mean, sort of lucked out. I was watching Mela, who didn't do a whole lot. Mela right now just sort of creeping around here. The Ubers are fairly even, and no crits creep this time. Ninja Nick thinking better of it. So right now, I'm just looking at the flank Looking at the flank action, seeing Decimate is moving way up and just kind of getting in the face there. He finally gets backed out a little bit there by the scout. Trying to create space on this map, and this second area a lot more wide open than the last that we were talking about before the round and just before.
Yeah, they're also running a sniper in Sizer. They're going to get Ash though. So I remember a long time ago there was a cast between two German teams playing this game back when there were like exclusively national teams in Euroland TF2, and they used the sniper pretty much every time on this second. It makes things pretty scary. Now that they've added the wood, it's not nearly as scary, but it's still hard to push. Shrugger testing around.
Yeah, you definitely have to give respect to those snipers, because if you know they're there, you can't be willy-nilly just jumping across doors. And Sizer moving up now doesn't really have much of a shot, but there are definitely some long sightlines here, and if you can get a big pick, it's going to make a real difference. Sizer coming way up, and it's going to have to back out there. And Soldier backing him up a little bit. Sizer still wants one. We have a counter sniper up, and guess who it is? It's not who you might think, though. It's not Alpha. It's actually Decimate.
Yeah, but before the Alpha craze last season, Decimate was known as one of the better snipers in TF2, particularly from his time on the Ducks. So we'll see what turns out here, but this is probably going to end up being a stalemate for a little while. Yeah, because that's what ends up happening when the defensive team runs a sniper and you respond to it. So we'll see. It'll pretty much be the battle of who gets the sneaky little quick scope.
Times like this that you wish there were more ammo packs on the map. Just using everything. It's just over and over here. We have a little, someone trying to chip away the point there.
Alpha got the drop on Ninja Nick.
Ninja Nick. Wow. I did not see that. I was looking at the sniper. Did you see the pick, Marxist?
Yeah. Alpha just bombed in out of the window and landed on Nick's head, and that was the end of the game there for Ninja Nick. I'm not going to talk a bunch of trash about Nick. You really don't want to pop it there. So that's just, it is what it is, and they're going to end up capping second because of it.
It is what it is.
KBK has still got the Uber charge, and that's where the punishment comes in, because they could try and force this in pretty early. They're waiting around trying to, like, team, come on, team.
Seems like KBK's thinking about it. I can hear. I wish I could hear the mumble. Here we go. The Uber pops in. KBK was dying to get in there. Little save here. Flashes off to the Soldier, and a lot of point presence right now, but no real big picks. Alpha went down. Mela does get Ninja Nick. KBK sticking in there. Ubersaw is out. Wants to get something, but now looking real kind of bad for eLevate. I'll be real honest. In the corner, gets taken down. KBK. Decimate sticking it in, but oh boy. 1 versus 3, and that ends very poorly there. It did seem like they were very aggressive. I guess you sit around, diddling on Saw long enough, you want to just go into last, huh?
Yeah, in that sort of situation, it's pretty easy to get your main heavy hitter classes in and start the fight, and then have the rest of your folks show up. I think what happened there was Shrugger got flashed onto the point, and the Uber stayed on him for a while, and he ended up just missing running through the tape. So that may have played into it there.
I give credit to eLevate actually for defense there. They did an okay job. For Street Hoops. But right now we're back here at second. We're hanging out. I see no off-classers yet. We're waiting on off-classers, and certainly the Ubers are fairly close. Nick gonna get his first, and Ninja Nick, we talk about it sometimes, he has a real aggressive med style, and it can be really hit or miss. He'll either drop an Uber, or he'll milk and milk and milk forever. He's definitely up in the face. He's got his now, and not content to act first, though. I don't think he's backing way up here. Playing real sort of tentatively.
Yeah, they had some action going down on the flank. Decimate got thrown down to 10 health, so they had to kind of call off their combo pressure because he needed to come back and get healed. So we'll see this testing more.
I don't want to miss a med drop here. Ninja Nick can be streaky on the med drops. I love him to death, but he does play very aggressively, and a lot of damage going down here. I'm looking at on the flank as the Alpha is way down. Maybe he was thinking about some more heroics, but has to go back and think better of it as he went down to 63, still at 63 health.
Yeah, you're just going to try a door. You don't want to use the window bomb over and over again, but see if they can see where Ninja Nick is, the window bomb, he's pretty much in the best spot for it, because it's really hard. Unless his teammates tell him immediately, he has no idea. So
Alpha went all the way back, by the way, to spawn. I was wondering why he wasn't healing up. He went back to switch off the sniper. And so Alpha is making his Invite Season 18 sniper debut, and give him call-outs in chat, guys, if you love him or hate him. Love him or hate him, he is going to give it a shot here on sniper. We'll see if he can make a difference. Paragon went down, and there's your difference, but I mean, not the hugest pick. We'll see here if we have action based off of this. Grape still just holding down Cheese here a little bit. Drops down and gets the Uber popped off, as a matter of fact. It's right now just being handed off to Mela, who's going to sort of take a little bit of ground here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of picks going down, and we may just reset here, Marxist?
Yeah, it's going to be a reset. It's really unfortunate that Nick couldn't extricate himself from that situation. He didn't really... It was just a single soldier. Actually, we have fighting going down while I was trying to talk about stuff, so what do I know? We're going in. Elevate's weak here on the point, but we're going to lose Grape. Badonsky also down, so it's still... That's pretty much the disaster zone for Elevate, because no demo, no defense. Mela's going to go down 2. I can't see the spawn timers very clearly, but they look like they're going to be a while. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to be second also for Street Hoops if they stay together.
Yeah,
and
about 8
play their
seconds
heels.
still for Mela. That's KBK very smartly getting out. It has Uber, was very close, and now actually has it. Ninja Nick, though, about to get his. And look at the aggression out of Street Hoops, just coming right up. But I think they know, of course they know, the KBK has it and wants to force him out. A lot of aggression here out of Street Hoops, and looks like they want to take this second point. Of course, this round going on a lot longer previously. And in comes a bomb, and KBK gets forced here, and now KBK has to scramble to grab a soldier, try to make something of it. But it looks like that Elevate has to get out of here right now, and KBK is in a bad spot. KBK to get knocked down underneath, not where he wants to end up. Meanwhile, Decimate going down to some sticks there. KBK, we're lucky to team back up with his butts there.
Yeah, they're going to come in hard here, though, because of their spawn advantage that they still sort of have. So they ended up having a lot of guys hiding out in lobby. The thing that would have made that better is their counter Uber into them on second needed to come a little bit quicker, and then they probably wouldn't have capped. But, you know, so we're at that situation now. Paragon is in, fighting a lot of people. Gets killed by the crossbow kid.
Crossbow kill. The crossbow kid, there you go. KBK with his first of the season, and probably the first of many. And I'm looking for headshots. I'm looking at Decimate, who's just creeping right up right side here. It seems like Street Hoop's giving up a very wide berth here, very wisely, as they lost 2 players. So they've got Paragon on Sniper, of course, but content maybe to give this up, and we may have another fight here at second, as Elevate not going to wait to take this ground here. But they have an Uber coming in right in their face, and KBK finally pops as a little bit of a better Uber. We'll see what they can do with it here. As Mela, who's just bouncing around the match here, Ninja Nick's going to go down. Mela hanging in there and is up in the sky, needs to try to do something here at this point. He tries to get the pick, but gets taken out by, it was Ash there. Finally, Paragon getting the kill. Down to 1 player, and Elevate, oh boy, this was the worst possible outcome, Marxist.
Yeah, as I always like to say, my general rule of thumb, if you pop Uber pushing out of last onto second, you lose. And it just happened.
They lost the round.
Look at that, yeah. It's too hard to spend 8 seconds fighting in an Uber fight and also cap the point before your team either gets destroyed or your last gets capped.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ash here again, and I'm expecting him to do much the same thing, which is that double bomb in on the medic. We'll see how it plays out. I'm wondering if Elevate want to bring a lot more of the aggression, not necessarily on this mid, Marxist, but maybe after the mid and in these second situations. Anyway, we'll watch Ash here and see what he does. He's actually going to play back a little more. Here comes the bomb. He gets hit in the air, and his bomb is wrecked, but he still gets to manage, you know, the KBK and takes him down. He's in behind now. Badonsky's real low as well. Badonsky gets taken out, and Ash is behind. He's going to try to clean up Shrugger here. That'll be everyone for Elevate if he can. Shrug's got his jukes, but another great mid and kind of a carbon copy of the first mid here for Street Hoops, who are rolling along, Marxist.
Yeah, the only saving grace there was Shrugger. He kept his head on straight there and took out Ninja Nick right at the end of the mid after it was a lost cause. Because if you don't kill Nick here, then that's a wash round, and they're already down by 2, and you don't want to end up going into halftime down by 3.
Absolutely. No, if you guys have your Preds, if you're just joining in, give us your predictions. How's this going to go? We already got 2 rounds in the books, but who knows? This could turn around. I mean, these teams have a storied history. Street Hoops and eLevate, lots of comebacks in their history, but at any rate, we have even Ubers right now. We're playing here at second, and yeah, going back to that Marxist, I touched on it. Oh, and we have a bomb in. I'll save that for later. I just missed a bomb. I was looking at Badonsky, as a matter of fact, and suddenly he looked up and he had a soldier in his, I don't want to say mouth, but in his face, certainly. Yeah, what I was going to say, Marx, is does eLevate need to play a lot more aggressively in these sort of stalemate situations? We saw Street Hoops really go balls to the wall in these. Do you think eLevate needs to sort of match their tempo?
Well, in this particular situation with Grape going down, they could have tried to do something. I see them going to Sniper a lot, and I'm horribly biased against Sniper, because even generally when you get the kill, you're still in a pretty crappy situation because you can't really get it out there afterwards, because your Sniper is basically a pick too, because it's pretty hard for him to get kills after the first kill. So I don't know. The main thing that's bothering me so far is that their second defense is pretty bad as far as defenses of second go, because you should not be able to get bombs on KBK like they have gotten twice now.
Right. Especially in this area. I mean, it says a lot about your defense if you're just letting that jump come in from window. I mean, you can't not know about it. You have to really play that and be aware of it at all times. And Shrugger, seems like that's his job now, is to try to hold down that area as he backs up a little bit. We still do have no off classes. We're still looking at just regular classes here. Both teams, of course, do have Uber right now, and they're waiting something to happen, to put it in a boring way. But right now I see, for example, Deadbolt setting up traps. Ash actually went down, which I missed off camera. Mela came in real far and actually finally had to have this Uber exchange go down. Mela trying to get something out of it, but it's only just that one red combo sitting in there, and they've got nowhere to go and nothing to do with it, and almost now a little overextended. We'll see if they can fight this out. Alpha goes down for eLevate. Mela gonna get out, but Street Hoops are gonna be able to just pile drive through, looks like here, real easily. Kind of a positioning failure by eLevate, I think. Maybe overextending with too few players.
Well, they needed to do something there, because they came in. It's not a bad time to Uber. They Ubered out onto mid. They didn't really accomplish very much, and then they started backing up, and then they tried to re-push into Saw Room, and that just did not happen. And then after that, they'd kind of lost all of their ability to even defend themselves. And I would like to see maybe during a push like that, the flank needs to get a lot more aggressive.
Yep, that's what I was going to say, Marx, is it looked like to me it was really just the pocket. It was just the med and the soldier only for eLevate in there, and I didn't really see anyone else, and I saw a swarm of Street Hoops coming in. And speaking of swarming, it's looking like they're getting ready. They have an offensive heavy, the old classic strat for Snakewater. We'll see how that plays out as Ninja Nick walks in with nobody. I don't know what happened there. He does grab finally his scouts and take them in. We'll see how this push works out. There's an engineer that they have to deal with, and Ninja Nick groups up with his demo, this Deadbolt, but looks like they're going to have to get out of here. Ninja Nick has a soldier in behind him. A lot of great picks there. I was looking at Alpha and Mela doing a lot of work. I'm not questioning Alpha at all. He's fitting in just perfectly, isn't he?
Yeah, that was really more of a mistake on Street Hoops' part. That point was completely naked and uncovered with the majority of eLevate in spawn, and they chose to fight eLevate at the spawn door rather than just run through the tape.
Run through the tape, and now we have a sniper back up, is Paragon, who, 20B, they're at a two-player disadvantage now, and trying to maybe get an equalizer. He's looking at the tips, the top of the head of KBK, but had no shot, unfortunately, and got taken out. So eLevate going to be able to take this mid real easy here. They have Uber as well, and so things looking good for eLevate here. If they want to get something going, this would certainly be a fantastic opportunity. Look at those long spawn timers.
Yeah, they have put themselves, when you have a really bad last push like that, and then your medic dies out on second, you put yourself in the meat grinder. It's pretty much impossible to stop it. So here comes the Uber. They do have a baby gun set up, but that's not going to do a whole lot. Got some soldier-on-soldier violence in the upside that Ash will get the better end of, but they are all over the point. Shrugger trying to get it capped, not going to happen. Mela needs to fall on the point. There we go. He ran through the tape.
He ran through the tape. It really looked like, I mean, eLevate were struggling to get the picks there toward the end. They couldn't really get the picks, and then they finally realized, oh, we can just You just stand on the point and just get it. That's what happened. We got 2-1, Marxist.
Yeah, I'll check out Decimate here. Give the scouts a little bit of love. They get to kind of see everything on these mids too on Snakewater. So he's playing in your typical spot over on the right. There goes Ash. That's his guy to shoot. He suspends him pretty well, throws him away. That's pretty much the end for 20B unless they can figure out something here. Yeah, there they go. So they have pulled out, only losing Alpha. And 3 down on the other end, so that should be a pretty easy go at second. Maybe someone will come to help Decimate at some point. Getawhale.
maybe team. Paragon going down there. I gotta wonder there. The Ash bomb finally fails. It's not a gimmicky thing at all. It's pretty standard, a double bomb on mid, but a lot of their mid hinged on that. It seemed like to me. I was watching Ash again. But, yeah, maybe they'll have to roll out with a different strategy here. They're getting a gun up here now at last. Both teams have their Uber already. We've got Alpha up on Sniper, and I believe he was the leader in Sniper picks in Invite last season. I could be wrong on that, but Alpha going to see if he can get something at this last, as he's moving right up. He's got his op, and he's going to see, he's going to eat some pills first. He's got the Sniper, he's got Paragon down, he takes some damage there, but is that enough to push on Marxist?
Yeah, it's good enough. You've got it in there. They're actually going to catch them out. Nice defensive Uber from Grape. So he saw the writing on the wall. Now he's kind of trapped behind, though, so he's got to try and figure out how to get himself out of this. He's not going to make it, so that may put you in position to repush, but that level 3 sentry gun's going to pose a little bit of a problem.
You know, sorry, I was going to say here, Deadbolt I'm watching, because I've got to give a lot of credit to Deadbolt and how much of a difference he's making. Not necessarily getting the picks, but doing that classic demo thing and getting a lot of damage. You saw Big Sizer picking up his first shotgun kill of the season, 18. What I was going to say is Deadbolt was doing a fantastic job, and Deadbolt seemed to have that sort of court awareness and that game awareness at last, and sort of knowing where everyone was. He shut down Alpha on Sniper. He knew where to put the damage, I guess, is what I'm saying, and I'm impressed with Deadbolt by that consistently. We'll see there if they can sort of survive this second ancillary push in. We have a scout in on the medic and a nice air shot by Ash there. Picking out the one scout.
The Uber is forced from
Ash
Gray.
is in behind.
Yeah, so we're going to see an Uber exchange here in lobby with both teams down 2. Although, for the upside for 20B, no scouts. Shrugger is coming back, but he'll be a little bit. They're going to try to get this cap. They need a soldier to press up quick if they're going to lock him out. So Alpha's going to go down. You still got to try and press a little bit. Yeah, okay, so they're just going to let him have it. I would like to see eLevate try and do something. They had free space.
They tried. I mean, if they must have heard you, Marxist. Alpha just bombed in and try to see if he could do something with it, and went down, and that was obviously enough for eLevate to get out of there. It's unfortunate he's back up now, but they knew what they had to do. I think they just failed Marxist. I think it's as simple as that. They gave it a shot. Valiant effort. Ninja Nick going to get his first. He's at 95 on his Uber, but not far behind KBK.
Yeah,
just sort of posting up here now where we might see a little bit of a delay here, although we have a scout coming way up. Pushing the issue. I think eLevate, they're starting to feel the clock a little bit now, too, as well, Marxist. They know that they have a few rounds to pick up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is just the first half, but you don't want it to end like this. You don't want to be holding mid when the round timer comes out. You got a pretty good defense from 20B. They're a little bit open on the door there, because once Grape shoots his rockets, you've pretty much only got to go through some sticky spam. So that's a little
Alpha's
risky,
in. Alpha's in.
Alpha's in Uber force too, but they get 2 kills.
Yeah, and Alpha trying that same exact move he did previously, where he picked out the med pick there and doesn't get it that time. It was real close though. He hit 2 rockets on him, but not enough. And now this is going to open up a little bit more. We're back to the mid, and finally KBK coming in. And KBK, I've been impressed by how patient he's been with his Ubers. Ash is going to come in and crater. Doesn't get any pick at all. And the midpoint is going to be eLevates. And here comes Shrugger. The scouts are just coming balls deep, just way forward here, and coming Shrugger way in and right in on the med. I don't think they knew he was coming at all. Gets the pick onto Ninja Nick, and that's huge. Grape going down as well. Decimate helping out. The scouts of eLevate have awoken, so to speak.
Yeah, they got put in a pretty good situation there and took advantage of it, and now they've they've got a situation where there's no Ninja Nick, so you're going to go in. Usually you go in left side in this sort of situation, but oh no, they're just going to let it go. So I guess they think their Uber is close enough, they're just going to play off of that. So not a bad decision, just calm it down for about 10 seconds and we'll go back in. But Alpha's going to go down first. Decimate in the basement, pretty hurt too. He's going to go down too. Yeah, so the waiting game may not turn out here because you're going to see Street Hoops move forward.
Yeah, Cyrus going to try to block it off a little bit if he can, but not going to work as we've got just a jam here now. It was looked like Grape going down underneath there, and I don't know if it was a miscommunication or what happened there. A Scout going down as well. The Sizer going down on the flank, trying their best this Street Hoops, but so much for moving forward. They're going to abandon that, and Nick is only at 60%, Marxist. This could be a bad situation for Street Hoops.
Yeah, we're put back into our original situation, and they do go to the left side push. Decimate, Alpha, and Shrugger all going down, though. Solid point defense from the Street Hoops gang here.
I'm very impressed there. Neither medic got Uber, but they're... I mean, you said it. It is the first half. Obviously, the time will expire in the first half if nothing happens here eventually. But 95%, Nick finally does get his, and we have a spy. Guess who it is? It's Alpha. I didn't really give you time to guess there, but it's Alpha. I'm going to see. I'm going to be watching him see if he can make something happen, perhaps. Obviously, anticipating this push in by Street Hoops, and going to stay close. Meanwhile, we've got the Ubers going down, and no picks as of yet. Trying to hold down House here. Ash is stuck and gets picked out. That's kind of unlucky there as Mela gets him. Shrugger, a little scout pick.
And the Alpha Spy dies in a sticky trap whilst trying to stab Grape, so much for that.
So much for that. He's going to have to wait to add to his knife kill total. Shrugger's in again. Shrugger has been kind of on fire. He's at 12 health. Who cares? It's 11 more than he needs, right? He gets a nice pick, and they're going to just... Are they going to come right in? It seems like they're thinking about it. Shrugger going to finish the cap. Here they come. Obviously just wanting to catch this Street Hoops gang off guard and just surprise them a little bit, but they lose right off the bat. Badonsky and Decimate, as they may get lucky with the picks. We'll see if Ninja Nick can do something. Not going to Uber saw it out, just going to stand on point and will go down.
Yep, there they go. They found their way to run through the tape. Getawhale. It worried me there
every round. Are you going to say that every round?
Oh yeah, that's what happens when you cap the point. That's how you win the game.
Right, you run through the tape. We all know that. Why don't I look at Grape this time? I'm curious to see what Grape may do, if they're going to roll out differently this Street Hoops team a little bit. It is tied now 2-2, and they've lost a couple in a row here. And so looking at Grape to see if he'll maybe try a different rollout, as we've seen that Ash has been shut down the past couple mids. eLevate knows how to play it now. Just kind of sitting back right now. Here comes the bomb in from eLevate. Grape going to hold on. Not too bad there. Alpha is already down, though, so a lot on the shoulders of Mela, and he goes down. Looking real good now. This is probably going to be Street Hoops, although Grape real hurt, and got a couple of those eLevate guys here staying in, and the fight looks like they might get... This could be either way. We had the skill stick out. It was a big kill by Badonsky. Geez, we've got all kinds of stuff. Skill sticks for both classes.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and find some way to do this, because the Badonsky fight is pretty rough here, and you don't want to end up in a situation where you get forced. But the thing that's going to happen now is that Deadbolt is going to get flanked.
There we go.
And yeah, and there you go. Their Uber is forced, though, by Paragon.
This is the first mid, Marxist, and I mean, they had to use it. You can't make a case against it there, but just a really scrappy mid fight, the first scrappy fight we've really seen. Kudos to Badonsky that stayed up through the whole entire thing. That was impressive, but yeah, here we go. The cap is going down. It's still not done. Amela's way up here now, getting pressure on the blue combo right up here as they're swarming second now. And this is a bad situation when the mid fights stretch out this long, Marxist. You see this pretty often.
Yeah, if you end up losing people in that secondary mid-fight, then there's no hope for second at all. Alpha getting pretty hurt down below, gonna escape because of the speed. And we'll see Paragon and Sizer going to utils Paragon with the engineer. Kind of odd, because Paragon was really well known as a Highlander sniper back in the day. I guess he's had enough of that, going for the building things guy.
Well, I'm sure it runs in the family. Maybe we'll see some crazy demo switch off to sniper plays. Who knows? We're running against the clock here now. The half is running down. It was about 4 minutes left when we rolled out. We're going to see if eLevate have one more cap in them, and let's see if they have that in mind. They're sort of just waiting for the right moment here, thinking about going underneath. Possibly they lose both scouts, though, Marxist. And it's tough to go without scouts, and they've got to be expecting possibly a push, maybe a push back in here by some of the Street Hoops. They're not going to get it, though. And just kind of creeping in, we just have Melee here now, the combo just waiting. They're waiting for respawns, or what's going through their head right now, Marxist?
I think they're just gonna let it go. Yeah. With the time so low, you don't want to really take too many risks. Especially with the sentry gun, you're just gonna come in with as much as you've got when the time is basically as close as you possibly can get it to 0.
Yeah, Sugar coming up on Sugar's on offensive heavy, Marxist, which might be an indication of how they want this to go. Mela comes right in and nails Deadbolt right off the bat and scares him back into spawn. Sugar coming up on heavy and is going to see if he can maybe back the rest of the team off. And I think eLevate wants a sneaky last cap here if they can get it. Finally, Ninja Nick popping his. Sugar comes in, he does get one little pick there, but that was it. And eLevate not going to do it this time around. They're going to have to look at second half. It was interesting. What do you think of Sugar coming up? Is that an old school invite strat?
Well, heavy on last is something I really like for pushing, because you force the other team to shoot at you because of how easily you can just pelt them from far away with damage. So we're in garbage time. I'm not really going to bother too much unless some sort of devastating catastrophe occurs. There we go. So yeah, that's not terribly unusual. Ideally, what you want to do there with your heavy is you kind of have him wait as the push goes down, and then the medic falls back to him, gets him his 450, and then you just walk slowly towards the point. And either they'll focus him down, or he'll kill everyone and win the game. So
kill everyone and win the game.
The reason the heavy is so effective is because during that Uber fight, everyone's shot most of their ammo. And so it's a pretty big ask to try and put out 450 more points of damage, because especially your soldiers are pretty much done after that 8-second fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at some of the stats here. Certainly an interesting half, as we saw. I mean, it felt to me like Street Hoops were coming out sort of pretty powerful in that, but a bit of fight in this eLevate team, and we talked about how these guys have played each other so much over the past couple seasons. It's definitely one of the rivalries. They fought for 3rd and 4th seed, and they definitely each want to win this, especially you want to start your season off with a win, don't you, Marxist? That seems obvious to say, but you want to get off on a good foot, don't you?
Yeah, I actually, when I was still actively playing all the time, I viewed winning the first game as one of the more important things to do for your team, just because it gets everything off on a good note. You feel good about yourself. It helps you get a lot of confidence in at least in how you're going about playing the game. And if you lose that first game, then you have to start making excuses or blaming somebody, and that's not really the good place to start off.
Yeah, one of the things that stands out to me on the stats so far in the first half is Big Grape doing that grape thing. I heard the R is silent. He doing just over 9,000 damage. He had the top DPM, which is 301. So doing that grape thing, nothing too extraordinary. Just looking through here, what stood out to you? Sort of aside from stats, as I'm sure the teams will be getting readied up here any moment.
Well, eLevate was a little tentative at times, and I think part of that is probably because they've had a leadership change. Yeah. So it takes a little bit of time, even simple things. When you change out who your main caller type guy is, it takes a little bit of time to adjust. Just vocabulary changes, because everybody will call some room differently, or they'll go about orchestrating pushes using different words, and it takes a little bit of time to get everybody used to what exactly everything means.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming into this, my gut instinct was that a team that is coming in with the same 6 as they had last season got to be favored, but we'll see how this plays out as we're getting ready to go live here. And why don't we watch little Mr. Grape? I don't know why I said little there, but why don't we watch Grape on this one and see what he can put together on this middle, as both teams trying to come out and set the pace in this second half, Marxist. So See if Grape can do that with one of his signature Grape bombs.
We'll hope so.
He's coming up the right side, doing the same strategy really as Ash was doing last time. We'll see if Grape is going to maybe try the bomb this time. Way down the throat on the other side, though, meanwhile, comes the soldiers from eLevate, and it seems like they do want to set the pace. I'm looking at, that's Mela, who is way up high and has to back out now. They lost Badonsky, they lost Decimate, and I don't think they're going to fight this one out. It is going to be Street Hoops taking this one. They do survive, they keep their medic up, they keep, ooh, Shrugger about to go down, surfs away. They kept 3 up, but it's looking rough here right now. They won't get out and stay alive.
Yeah, Ash got nailed by a pretty good rocket from Mela there, and that stopped it from basically being the round at that point. So we'll probably see a little bit of a settle down period here and see Ash did die. Oh, he doesn't. There he goes. He is sniper.
There he goes.
I like to see that. It's just it keeps things from slowing down as we try to suicide for 30 seconds as Ash comes back. Right. So we'll have that sniper ready to go. We have Shrugger on engineer and Decimate on sniper, as I would expect.
Indeed. Decimate trying one of those sneaky bottom angles, expecting possibly a bottom push. I'm going to let him do his thing. What do we have here? I mean, I like that different players are playing sniper so far. I just want to say as a side note, I like that we can still have fun in TF2 Marxist, you know? I like that different people can do these different roles. Right now, I mean, we have the flank of 20B are just down underneath, and actually we may have a little engagement here. Sizer runs into a soldier underneath. Decimate went down on sniper. I missed it. I'm looking at the scouts.
Yeah, he died in the sniper battle. Oof, Ash gonna get another. And, yeah, so now we're going to just see this gun go down first, too. The Uber comes out, too. And now we got an Uber v. Uber fight. Unfortunately, Paragon going to go down there on the side. And now we're in a situation when Ninja Nick is kind of boxed out here. You don't want to see that, yeah. So now they've got to try and figure out a way to either get to KBK or just lose the farm.
No, well,
it looks like the farm is gone.
Yeah, they got him. They just could not get out there. Just swarmed by eLevate. I mean, looking at it from a macro perspective, they all just sort of got caught like fish. I don't know. I don't have an analogy, Marxist, but they died. They died. Come on.
Yeah, they tried to back up, and then they just continued to back up, and some people got stuck, and that's just, you don't want to see that.
They couldn't swim backwards. It was really tragic. They'll all be missed. They're back up, and 75%, that is what KBK has right now on his Uber. Alpha thinking about his little sneaky, the little window jump, which he's used a couple times this match. Not going to work there. We'll keep an eye and see what he's cooking up. Mela going to come and try to force the issue here, try to create some space if possible. Little rocket hitting KBK there and gets forced, and geez, I don't know. The rocket forces them, but backing up are Street Hoops. I'm not sure. They still have a scout in. I don't think the KBK was playing extraordinarily dangerously or aggressively, but just happened to take a rocket and got forced there with some scout pressure. So unfortunate for them, as right now, guess who's got it? Ninja Nick.
It was pretty risky, and Badonsky ended up in the saddest zone of all possible sad zones, where he was a demo man by himself, and a scout noticed. And that's pretty much the end of you getting to play video games for about 15 seconds. So we're going to see this push back in. It'd be a real tragedy if Ninja Nick had to pop here. He's kind of getting stickied up from Badonsky a little bit. Doing a pretty good job there with the long-range spam, but I think that's pretty much the end of it. You got Great pushed up. He's not going to allow those sort of shenanigans to continue.
Yeah, and so we're just getting this mid-cap, and we're going to get the flank to move up and see if they can create some space. We've just got Alpha up top, and actually a lot of action going down right now is Ash getting hit on the point. We have both Ubers were popped, and Shrugger coming in, see if he can get some picks. He's being taken in by his medic right now, and a big swarm again of eLevate players coming in, but getting taken out. Grape just got 2 shotgun kills. Deadbolt with a pipe kill and some impressive picks here, and this might be, you know, almost a double wipe situation. A lot of picks. I couldn't keep up with it all, but Deadbolt doing a lot of great work, and Grape as well. Looks like they each just got 3 picks each.
Yeah, I think Grape finally sorted out what was happening, because after his Ubers, he likes to back up and not throw his life away.
Right.
And eLevate has been responding really positively to that by throwing like 5 or 6 people on Grape's head when the Uber ends. Because his whole team is there. This time Grape just stayed behind them with his invincibility, and then they sort of just bottled up eLevate after that. So that we might see that come out a couple more times just to see if it's an actual change or they just got lucky.
We will see. We have the heavy up, and we have the finishing out the Highlander defense is the construction worker engineer, and we have the Uber coming in on red. They're going to try to flush him out, but everyone's on the left side. They've got to get ground. We've got Soldier up above, gets knocked off. Need to take some high ground here if they can, or get a lucky pick. We've got the scout in on a medic. KBK in a lot of trouble, but gets saved. Real lucky there, and just I'm calling it a great defense there. What did you see, sir?
It was a pretty
Is it a positioning
solid
thing?
Well, Grape got on the point early, but eLevate dealt with it in pretty much the best way that you could, and then the rest of 20B just got kind of spread out there. They couldn't.
Yep.
There was no real focused punch from them anymore. They were really disjointed.
It did seem that way, yeah.
But eLevate did really well at the point there because the newer teams, you know, not top tier invite teams, would send their whole team there, and then they would lose.
Yeah, Uber through kitchen flushes players out real quick, and they have nothing else to do with it. Just kind of a big body presence deal. Oh, in spawn though, we had the little sneaky play trying to get spawn out of, or the sniper. Sorry, had a forward spawn. Sorry, but yeah, not working out here. And we have Deadbolt trying to get a pipe, gets taken out by Shrugger. Alpha real hurt now as well. We've got 3 players on the field, and that's about it. Paragon is going to sneak up and see if he can do anything. He's going to grab a pack. Yeah, we had, I haven't seen that yet, but we had sniper play trying to just come in through the forward and didn't work out.
Alpha's going to take Grape out in a little Snakewater mid-MGE match there.
Yeah.
And we'll see him press up. We got some pretty... Oh, the crits is out from Ninja Nick again. We have a reappearance.
Yep, crit watch is in effect
Crits
again,
Krieg.
if he can hold on to it. We didn't see a whole lot done with it the last time. He only stuck with it for 1 life. It wasn't exactly a game changer, but we'll see if they can sway something here, because something's got to give in this match right now. It is still 2-2 if you are just joining us and tuning in. Mail a little bit of action here in the saw area as he's trying to take out the soldier. Can't do it. And needs to now back up. There's a trap set up, but soldiers are kind of tagging in, seeing what they can do. And in comes the scout from behind, and Mela goes down, and that was the crit with Deadbolt. They got that 1 pick off of it, and actually they got Badonsky as well. And Ninja Nick's still up with 19, dancing around.
Yeah, they got like 3.5 picks off of that, so it's good enough. The crits wasn't super flashy, but it worked more or less. Now you just have to make sure that the blue team's push here from eLevate doesn't end up wiping you out, because they should show aggression. This new Snakewater lets you do that. That used to be like a complete alternate reality thing that never would have happened on the old Snakewater, but here it comes. Alpha and jumping around.
Yeah, looking for Nick, and Nick is playing real smart the way back, because he's no dummy. He knows that they're coming for him, and he's at 67, now 70 almost % on this Uber, or Crits Krieg rather. Knows he needs to still sit back though. He's kind of in a tough spot with that crits. And not an easy area to get a pick on KBK, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. You've got to give the advantage, though, to eLevate.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. Crits here is kind of tough sometimes. They're going to go out of the sneaky little door to the side, and it's going to be a challenge to really find anybody. They're getting jumped and obliterated, so there that goes.
It went about as you figured it would go, say, if you wrote it up on paper, just obliteration. And we'll see, though, it is still a 3v3 situation. KBK still up, but didn't even have to use. They're not doing anything with it. They lost too many Marxist.
Yeah,
kind of a surprise.
When they respawn, they ought to at least look into doing something with it, because
should look
you
into
may
that
as well.
Well, I mean, Ninja Nick has gone back to Medigun. He's at 30%, and he's going to build back up. But KBK, the time to act, the window is starting to close on when eLevate has to act here. They've got to get going here quickly. They can't give them too much time.
Yeah, Badonsky leading the charge out. Now here comes the rest of the team. Mela going for the lockout, but Decimate's gonna go down. And you have Sizer running for a back cap, not gonna make it in time. Now he's trapped behind. Doesn't really matter since he killed Decimate. He gets free reign to do whatever sort of stupid thing he wants to do. Looks like he's actually gonna... No, he's not going to escape.
I'm starting to wonder here if you're KBK, I'm not trying to say anything, but, is there a limit to how long you can hold on to your Uber? before it expires? Doesn't it go bad or something? Finally, seems like they're moving up. It seems like we'll just forget the past 2 or 3 minutes happened. They're just going to sit themselves down here at second. What do you make of this, Marxist?
Well, I mean, there's sort of some rules of thumb with TF2. Either when a player gets behind you, like what Sizer did, either you ignore him or you send the whole team back to kill him. And they opted to go for the whole team method there with Sizer. It kind of slowed things down a little bit. Now, because of our Uber situation, we should see 20B pushing in here. Grape gonna get thrown around by some scout defense. Nice defense there from eLevate. Except for now they're dying.
Well, it seems like Alpha is making all the right decisions, but is getting taken out every time. KBK finally pops that dirty, rusty, moldy Uber and is going to have to back out. A lot of scout aggression coming in and gets taken out there by Grape and really well played by Street Hoops. I almost feel like eLevate let them play that so well. I feel like eLevate just left the door open and let them come on in. And here they come. They're coming into last now, and this looks like it may be a wash for Street Hoops.
Yeah, they ended up in the classic situation where all you could really do was force their Uber, and they ended up giving up their Uber and not forcing theirs, and then everybody died. So it's pretty much like the worst possible thing that could have happened.
Still fighting it out here. We still got Uber Saw is out, and that's a big kill there. Finally, Street Hoops does take it. Mark says, I mean, before we go on to the next bit, how much do you place blame there? Do you blame anyone on the eLevate team, or was it a team failure?
They just wanted to clean up Sizer, and then their defense on that second point started out pretty good, and then they needed to yoink out after they threw Grape around, and they chose to stay and try to have an Uber fight, and it did not pan out.
I'm looking to see what Badonsky can do on this mid, because Badonsky had a big mid last time in terms of taking people out. He's getting real hurt right off the bat here, though, now, and it's going to be the Soldiers. KBK and Ninja Nick are both down, so who wants it more? We see Sizer, the scouts. I've seen a lot of aggression the past, say, 3-4 minutes out of these scouts. Sizer and Paragon, they want it, and real easy mid there is Badonsky, the last one left up for eLevate. And, you know, just as quickly as eLevate got that momentum up, sort of heading into half, really seems like it's all Street Hoops since then.
Yeah, Street Hoops sorted out what was going on with some of their pushes, I think, and it's helped them get things together here. Also, eLevate having a pretty rough time on that mid. They got pretty disjointed. Now we're seeing the push in, though. Sizer going to be pretty extended and die. We'll see Alpha going to go down as well. Shrugger out here fighting by himself. And now Grape and Ash decide to show up. They do have KBK. But they're going to let him go. Ash is going to go out here too, maybe? Oh, there we go. It finally happened. And only Deadbolt remains.
Everything is happening. I'm watching Grape. It seems like Grape is like trying his earshot, you know, Tiara walkway practice, but hasn't hit very many big shots. As of yet, he's certainly got it in him. His team right now are kind of on their heels as eLevate are moved way up. They're at 76, almost 80% on their Uber, and it's time, isn't it, Marxist? I mean, they've lost one round. It is only 3-2. It's not completely gotten away from them as of yet, but they need to come in here and figure out a way to crack this second point, because they haven't had a whole lot of strong pushes in, and geez, their medic almost getting into danger there again. Does manage to pop off, though. Badonsky gets way up in house here, and they're just going to sweep them out. Get a scout on point, hopefully, eventually. Cap second. Eventually, a scout will be on point, I promise.
And it's a real tragedy Alpha went down there, too. There's actually a guy behind them. Ash is behind them in forward spawn, and I don't think they know. He's coming now, and he is going to kill KBK. So there you go. And he's going to get Badonsky. Will he get Shrugger? No. The Scout versus Soldier battle was too much, but he did get the two most important players on the other team, so... And then we got a Scout 1v1 that's going to, well, 2v1, and Sizer's going to end up losing that one.
Alpha's on Spy. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, you can still do that on this Snakewater map. You can still just chill in forward spawn. And teams are aware of it pretty often, but sometimes you can't forget. And you have someone sneak in on you like that, as we just saw. Alpha, we haven't seen him do anything. As meanwhile, we've got Ninja Nick popping off Uber and tries to get a pick here if he can. Doesn't have anything to do with it, though. And almost a wasted Uber there by Ninja Nick, unfortunately, as 65% is where KBK sits with his. Just as if on cue, here comes eLevate coming right in, and they get annihilated. Ash with a big skill stick kill on Mela. That was an abysmal push. Just
Well,
unbelievable
they were
by
trying
eLevate.
to freeze for a back cap. They had a back cap going on last, and they tried to freeze second. So they went all in on the back cap, and it didn't work. And then
They all
lost their
exploded
medic.
at once. That was unbelievable. I don't think I've seen 4 players die in one spot that quickly. But at any rate, here we go. Bouncing back is 20B, and that's unfortunate for eLevate. We just got finished talking about how they need to get something going and get moving, and it was looking okay for a moment.
Well, they went for the all-in strat there, and Alpha went for the hide against the wall boink strat, and that did not work. So here comes Great. I think they're pretty much going to get this point without incident. Sizer a little bit hurt, taking some fights there in Queso. But, oh, here we go. There's the Ninja Nick Uber. We have a scout coming in from Sizer. There's a medic directly in front of him, but he's going to have to pull it back to try and get some unity here. Sizer going to go down. Ash trying to save Ninja Nick. Ninja Nick walking on people's heads. He is still alive. There he goes. So he is going to pull out. It's still, numbers-wise, even. The demo man was by himself and was inserted into the sad zone by Paragon. And, there we go. Oh, arrows coming out on Ninja Nick, actually.
Crossbow kid.
Yeah, gonna make him see his life flash before his eyes, but he has 50 health, so he's still good.
You know, you want to talk about a scout that can create space. Paul Sizer Sandu, he came in, he pushed this eLevate team back to last, couldn't do anything with it, and now here comes eLevate coming right back. KBK's got both his scouts, and they're no slouches either, Shrugger and Decimate, as they come in, and they're just gonna W on one forward. Decimate gets killed. I think it looked like KBK tried to save him there with a crossbow, doesn't get it, and ooh boy, eLevate might be in trouble here as we have a push back in on them. KBK is separated, no heals coming out right now, and oh boy, the crossbows are great, but you gotta use your gun eventually. 100% Uber now, and Ninja Nick, he's only got 2 people up on his team. I don't know if he's gonna want to use, he's gonna try to back up here a little bit if he can, stay alive.
Having a sniper there put them in a pretty bad position because they were primed to just have a go in and push situation, and they had some folks go in and get caught out because the rest of the team wasn't ready or they were doing something else. And now they are finally going to Uber here on this point. Mela gonna go down to the Paragon sniper, but that'll probably be it for this Uber. Oh, Shrugger gonna get caught out too, going for a little bit of the peeksies.
Yeah, Paragon helping out, got a little SMG action going, and he's looking down to the opposite. Ooh, gets the kill on Alpha, who was sticking his way out of there, and actually picks up again Vidonsky going down as well. So it's a nice work here by Street Hoops, but they need to back out as they have an Uber in their face as we continue here to sort of piggyback Ubers. What's the best play here for Street Hoops on their heels as we're piggybacking? They do have the advantage.
So Sizer got a pretty decent kill there. The problem here is that the respawn advantage for eLevate is pretty heavy. So when they weren't able to cap that point, that was pretty much the end of it because Paragon, unless Paragon got an amazing headshot or something, that was pretty much the end of that. We're going to see eLevate come back on here. Paragon, the only one out there really. Ninja Nick and Deadbolt are really far forward and no one else is.
Sizer's coming around. Oh, Sizer's coming around for a flank play, and he can't pull it off, unfortunately. His team backs out. He's still thinking about it, though. Sizer's going to come in, and his partner there with him, creating some space, and they're going to... Sizer, again, the flankerino coming around, and can't pick anything out. Sizer just kind of there to keep teams honest, you know? That's how I feel about him.
He can do that from time to time. Now we got this Uber popped off. Ninja Nick pops, not really on anybody at first, but it'll turn out okay, because defensive Ubers don't really have to be that good because you already have an advantage. And we'll see. They're going to try and test out this lower area because they have a man advantage with Alpha being down, but it looks like they're going to recollect and reheal maybe.
Yeah, the Uber's back pretty equal here now. We're done with the slingshotting, at least for now, on the Ubers. Alpha is down. He's going to come back up. Soldier, no off-class antics yet. We may have a little bit of a thing here. I'm looking at the eLevate team, and they seem very hyper-aware of the window play, and they're watching that window because we've seen that play a couple times already in this match, and one of them was an Uber drop. Mela just jumping around doing his thing. I'm waiting for the off-class because we talked about how we have such long sniper lanes here. Seems like eLevate just getting a little bit of free space here.
Yeah, I don't know. the Street Hoops guys have backed way off, and that's kind of unusual for this map. But Ash is in the side area there. He's actually going to make his way out. The Alpha and Mela both going to go down. They got kind of baited up in the flank, and now this is pretty much a time where you're not going to be able to save it. Their Uber's going to get forced, and it's kind of a... I don't know how I feel about this. They're going to get Paragon and Ash both. And Street Hoops content not to mess with them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to say, Marxist, that the Street Hoops team is up around and they're maybe just going to sit back and wait for eLevate to screw up, how accurate would you say that is at this point?
I'd say that was almost exactly what they were doing there, yes.
Yeah, don't want to call it bus parking full on, maybe. Maybe they're just, like, foot on the brake, just sort of waiting. Maybe they're just, you know, slowing down. Handbrake.
Yeah, downshift.
Yeah, downshift. They're in now. Schroeder was in on the medic. Good! The big pick there on the medic. He had some help, as a matter of fact. Grape and Ninja Nick down, and it's time to go for eLevate. The KBK's got to grab the pack, but it's time to go. They have a full team wipe on the other side, and Big Cyrus is already in on last. See what he's going to do to shut down these doors, although he's only going to get 1 or 2 respawns in.
Well, Getawhale, you can't mess with the game or the game will mess with you. And that's what just happened to Street Hoops there.
Yeah, so perhaps what was a plan by Street Hoops, turning around and blowing up in their face a little bit as eLevate are able to tie it up. We're looking at 3-3 now. Who do you want on this mid?
I'm going to watch my good buddy Shrugger. He's recommended some good stuff to me, so I'll give him some airtime. And he's a new player here. They actually have both scouts on the right side, which, you know, that happens from time to time. Shrugger trying to be a little sneaky. They're playing pretty passively, but here it's time to go. Ninja Nick and Ash going to go down. Shrugger going to get deadbolt too before being taken out, but it's not going to matter because it is only Sizer. Decimate versus Sizer. Who could win? There it goes. So there's Decimate. Win for eLevate. Mela actually survives the mid as well.
Yeah.
And Alpha both. So the ultra rare alternate reality mid where both soldiers survive.
Yeah, I was looking at Street Hoops. I was watching Grape specifically, and I feel like sometimes on the Street Hoops mids, I feel like it's really hit or miss. And sometimes you'll see some really great individual performances, and not necessarily a great team mid. But at any rate, we're looking, by the way, at about 8 minutes left in this match here, Marxist. We are tied up, of course. Too early to talk about, you know, overtime as of right now, but we'll see how it plays out. Podolski's way up in the air and is trying to shut off this area. He's done a fantastic job of really just flushing out in this second with his mobility and whatnot, and a real big flush out of second here as eLevate going to come right in on the last. Forget second. No Uber at all. They have Ash down on the other side and just acting on this. I think they know that it is 8 minutes left. Now, I'm watching, though, KBK's about to get it, and they're going to be able to use, but so is Ninja Nick. They're coming up this left side here. Podolski just trying to shut down doors and see if he can get some picks here. Mela with the shot. He gets the pick just right into spawn on Sizer. It's still a 4v3 situation. Mela way up in the skybox. Trying to jump away there, and he's in trouble. Okay.
He's going to make it out, but they have Uber there. I don't disagree with their intentions there on that play. They just ended up losing 2 people, and sometimes that's going to happen to you. You can't really always control how the picks are going to fly down. So
they had to force. I mean, they failed there in forcing Ninja Nick, which was the unfortunate thing for them, and now here comes... Ooh, Deadbolt goes down, though, which is unlucky, but Ninja Nick holding on that Uber, it gives them a bit of an advantage, but I don't know. We got Shrugger now underneath. We've got some of these eLevate guys trying to sneak in and kind of pinch them.
Yeah, they're now behind the point. I don't know where Shrugger has gone. I'm going to use
Shrugger's in the drop down, the former drop down area, just hanging out. He's going to try for that. Here we go.
Yeah, he's
Shrugger,
going.
Go for the back cap. Not going to get it.
Nope.
As 20 be able to stack, and in comes the... Oh, Shrugger, though, gets the pick on Deadbolt. Why not?
Yeah, that puts them in a really bad position because you don't have it to end their Uber got forced. So
yeah.
You really don't like to see that. Shrugger trying to make his escape, but he cannot do it. No 007 action for Shrugger.
But a great effort by Shrugger. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact, you know, say if that second point only had 2 times on it, he would have won that round. That would have been all Shrugger. But at any rate, he's going to come back up and think about what he's done. We've got fake calls being called out. The leader in Uber right now is Ninja Nick at 40. We got, ooh, the scout came right in. That was Paragon who came in and picked Podolski for free.
Yeah, that
right
can
through
happen
Saw
to you.
as well, which is not the easiest of areas to come through.
They just didn't. They didn't have their demo man protected enough. He's like a little baby in a swaddling blanket sometimes. And if the scout sees that, then he just runs in there. And now 20B's.
Oh boy.
Basically just falling apart. And Paragon is in queso. Some people call it cheese. I like to call it queso.
Right.
But he is now behind. But he's gonna get caught by a scout and decimated. And then Grape gonna try and shoot some shots and buff his stats, but it's gonna go to eLevate.
Gotta give a lot of credit to Mela there, because Mela, I was about to call him out a little bit because I was watching KBK, who was sort of hanging back at second and kind of didn't want to push all the way in. I was about to say that KBK is telling Mela, you're on your own, bro. But Mela, just by being there, shoved out those 20B guys, and here you see it. We're looking at 1 round advantage. Looking at Mela, I'm just going to stick with Mela and see what he can do. He's probably feeling good about himself. Let's see if he goes up high, as I expect he probably will. We have 1 soldier jumping already from eLevate. We're trying to shut down. Oh, a nice job by Mela, who's really just denying any height at all to this entire Street Hoops team. Takes out the med as well, which will help a lot. Takes out Deadbolt too. Mela goes down, but he did a ton of work. Unfortunately for him, all that's left is his medic.
Yeah,
what happened
the
with the Street Hoops?
kid
Yeah, what happened there?
trying, but he didn't get it. Well, Mela played a pretty passive mid there, and he ended up catching Grape in an also pretty passive mid, and then he dropped down and got 2 quick kills. But that it sort of just happens that way, especially a lot of mids in Invite are sort of pause and spam at each other and then sort out what to do sort of mids. They're very reactive for both teams. And in that case, they just got better damage out, and then everybody pushed in. And then that was pretty much the end of it, except for Mela doing his sneaky sneaks. Alpha going for a suicide, not going to get it. Ninja Nick's got to be careful. This is a little bit of a testy spot because you can't see the spam rolling at you, but he's going to get through, and they're going to go.
Yeah, here they come, and backing up. Mela just going to get his reloads done and get the hell out of there. Uber comes in, and Mela going to do what he can. He's standing in there. He's stingy. They pick on 1 soldier. That's Ash going down. Mela going to get up on top and try to just rain down if he can. He's down to his shotgun, though. Meanwhile, we got Shrugger. A lot of scout action going down on the point. I'm looking at Ninja Nick, who's just forcing in, gets Badonsky down, carrying his scout in. Blue scout on point, trying to hold it down, but Street Hoops are going to get in, and guess what? They're going to tie this one up. We're looking at a very potential overtime here, Marxist.
Yes, we are. So it'll be pretty challenging here, and I imagine we'll get to see a lot about whoever makes the decisions on these teams.
Yep.
Because they're either going to go really hard or they're not going to go at all.
2 minutes. Take us through it.
Yeah, so we've got... I'm going to kind of watch in the sky because I anticipate that both teams will watch each other for a great deal of time before they do anything, and that's pretty much what's happening here. Nobody going really hard, and Badonsky really hurting down, so that's not... You don't want to lose your demo man first. That predicates the aggressive play from Alpha and Shrugger, and Shrugger is going to get a lot of kills on that backside. Ash also the only remainer. Yep, so they just waited there, they spammed it out, they got a pretty good amount of damage on Badonsky. He goes down, or Deadbolt rather, he goes down, and then they all push across. So
yeah, and I have a premonition
typical
now,
invite
Marcus.
mid.
I have a prediction, a premonition. Everyone's going to get up on last, heavy, engineer, and we're going to look at overtime. We'll see how this actually does play out, but Sizer already up. Big Paul. You know, obviously, it's real obvious here. I don't have to say it. I mean, eLevate wants to come in and cap last, and Street Hoops have to defend last. That's just the way the game works.
Yeah, you kind of hold the ball here for a little bit, watch the clock on the timer just so you don't go in. You know, I don't know the time situation, but they're going to go ahead and go in, so it must be pretty close.
Yeah, they've got one
very
chance
confident.
And they're going to have to really pick their timing here. They've got to get out. They're letting it get away from them here too much. Street Hoops are out, and they save it just in time there. I was a little worried that they'd be stuck in spawn, walk against the wall or something, but in the end they hold off, and Marxist...
You had way too many people trying to run through the tape all at once. They were real eager there, get a
Can't
while.
run through the tape, yeah.
And you need to kind of have one person that goes through the tape, and then everybody else kind of blocks for them. But their whole team just ran on there and got surrounded.
Yeah, you need the perfect line there for sure. And so We are more than likely, unless some miracle of physics occurs here, we are going to be looking at an extra frame here in this week 1 of ESEA Invite Season 18. Well, that's impressive. Who called it? Who out there? Let's check the bookie. Check the bookies and see who called an overtime between Street Hoops and eLevate. We talked about it at the start. I mean, these are teams that have been very equal for a long time, and we saw them fight back and forth last season, of course, a whole bunch, including Atlanta, GXL.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? I mean, I'm having a hard time, Marxist. This is what's going through my head. I'm having a hard time picking a favorite, and I'm having a hard time picking out big differences between these teams. There's no overarching story to me. It's been a lot of just back and forth, hasn't it?
Yeah, there has been a lot of back and forth, and there's been a typical early on in a season. There have been some flubbed pushes here and there. Snakewater can do that to you from time to time because it's a little bit different than some of the other maps that are played, particularly the more popular, like Badlands and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of a different flow to it, even still with the changes. I'd say it's faster than it used to be, but it's just got a little bit of a different flavor to it, and we're finding ourselves in that from time to time with teams, having sure win situations or staying too long on defense. I would say that's particularly happened to eLevate several times. Yep. Where they're way overstaying their welcome a lot of the time, or maybe just Mela is really feeling himself, so he's feeling himself. He's just ready to go.
You heard it here first. Mela feeling himself on teamfortress.tv. That to the stream highlight list. Do you feel like, Marxist, that these teams are still warming up in terms of the season as a whole?
Yeah, it takes a while. Even if you've been to, especially with eLevate, I would say, with roster changes, you can scrim a million times prior to a season. I don't imagine that they have, but you can scrim a bunch with new players, and you're still not going to know how they're going to behave when something like this happens, where it's really tight. And you also, it puts a lot of pressure on your leader, because you need to trust them. Whoever your leader is, they have to be trusted, and they have to take responsibility for whatever sort of disaster might occur that loses you the match. So it can lead you in on how a lot of teams deal with things here.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear what you're saying. I'm trying to get anything from the numbers at all, but the numbers don't say too much of anything. The leader in damage is still Grape, 328 for damage per minute. He has 51 frags. He is tied on the other side for frags with 51 by the Scout, Shrugger, the guy who's been dying to get back into Invite probably for a while. Well, we talked about how he played on 6 Cuties, but the soft-spoken, long-haired young man from the Southwest, he's fitting right in. He's doing fantastic. I'm so happy that Shrugger's back in Invite. Personally, that's just me. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I have spoken to Shrugger on many occasions. He enjoys the odd historical podcast, so yeah. I get myself into that as well, being as my background is not in TF2, it's actually in history. So,
of course, yeah. We all know that. A lot of people say stuff in chat. They all know you, Marxist. They know your deal. They're talking about capitalism and stuff in chat. If you guys are just tuning in, we still have TF2 here to bring you. We have free TF2, as they would call it in, traditional sports. For those of you who have tuned in, you're getting free TF2 tonight. It doesn't quite work the same in TF2, but it is overtime. We're getting ready for the extra frame here as we finished off 4-4. And that's what we're going to do here right now. And you know what? Why don't we go back to Ash on this mid and see if Ash can be the difference maker. We saw him do it on the first middle. Saw him do it on the third middle. Possibly a couple more. Let's see if Ash has that double bomb, and let's see if eLevate can play it. Because if Street Hoops can set the tone here on this first middle, Marxist, that might be all they need. It could be a really quick round. Let's see here how they play it. And let's see if Ash picks his double jump, or let's see if maybe Grape takes that jump. Right now, just really sitting back and playing this sort of passive style on this overtime frame. And Ash finally now picking his jump. No big jump in, really, on the medic whatsoever. KBK is still in there and moving way up, as a matter of fact. KBK might be in trouble any second here. Ninja Nick is still up as well. It's just decimated KBK, and this is not good. I mean, Decimate's just going to ride it forward. He's going to do it again, and he gets to pick on Deadbolt. Give a lot of credit to eLevate there for picking this middle out. I'm very surprised, Marxist, but we're going to have probably a repush here.
Well, a lot of the times on Snakewater, the team that's standing on the wood will win the even fight. And that's pretty much... It was 3v3 there, and both teams had medics. And eLevate was just standing on the wood, and so they were blessed by the wood god, and they were allowed to win that particular battle. And now we'll see how they go one down here. Badonsky gonna go down, Uber gonna get forced out really at kind of an odd time there from eLevate, and now the ball is in 20B's court.
And KBK was just kind of chilling on mid, kind of waiting for his players to come back and, I don't know, come to their sanity a little bit, get back with your medic. They're going to try to do what they can here on this middle point. I mean, they've got height, but it's not going to be enough as we've got those crazy scouts. One of them named Paul, and we've got Alpha going down again, unfortunate. Alpha maybe going down a little more than he needs to. Maybe still adjusting to that soldier role, I don't know, although he has played very well.
Well, he was just trying to get a forced suicide out there. It's okay to drop one guy over that because you have to hope that you can build this Uber fast enough that you can block them, but it's going to be pretty tight here, and we might end up in a hero Uber situation. Mela trying to get the spam out of the cheese, but not a lot going on right now. They're going to have to hero Uber out here to block this point. Yeah, you don't really have a whole ton of choices there. The Uber's going to come from cheese, although Deadbolt will get killed by Mela. That's a pretty big kill going into this fight. That will be coming in now. So this is when the craziness starts. Alpha bombing in over the top.
Oh boy.
Grape in the air. Ash on the point. Shrugger gonna get killed.
Boy.
And that is that. So
wow.
The hero Uber turned out. Getawhale.
eLevate going BD mode. BDing. If you catch my drift, really impressive, and they all stayed alive. Decimate was doing fantastic work, WM1ing, and when he got down low, he just kind of saved himself and hid under the bridge. eLevate, they look very good as a unit right now, which they've kind of lacked through this whole match, Marxist, and they're coming forward. Very cohesive, looks to me. This is maybe the most cohesive they've been all match long. We do have a surprise in forward spawn, though. It's a sniper who whiffs the shot. I think they knew he was there, and not going to work. We've got Paragon just in forward spawn, and that doesn't work out, so he's going to come on back and do his thing. Melo goes down, as a matter of fact, to Sizer. Paragon is back at last now on Sniper, and he's going to be a lot more useful from back there. He's watching right. We'll see where this push comes from. What do you do? Well, actually, both teams just sort of getting in position right now. Sizer's down and Melo's down.
They're going to chill for just a bit.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was a push coming, but we, 1-1. There's no push yet. This is overtime, obviously, so real important here in eLevate trying to get the perfect push together. I think that's to be expected.
The deal that went down on the last point was eLevate did a really great job of stacking middle, and they delayed 3 spawns, so that gave them free reign pretty much to come out on the second. So it was a really heads-up play from them to throw eight cap times on the point. So that gets them up here. But now we gotta mess around, Getawhale. We're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna have to die. And oh, well, actually, it's gonna be Paragon.
Well, here goes.
And Alpha.
And they get Shrugger though, and Alpha are both down. And there's almost a saying about this eLevate team, whether it's true or not, that they have trouble pushing last. I don't know if that's still correct all of the time, but it certainly seems like they're having trouble getting in on last. I mean, they did take 4 rounds in the match itself, but see if they can put it together here. They've got their players back up, and they're regrouping. KBK going to take in the demo and the soldier. Right off the bat, though, the jump completely failed. They have a gun to take care of.
Yeah, there's 6 all over the point as well, too. Ninja Nick trying to do what he can, though. It looks like they're going to get the better end of this one. Yeah, there it goes. So I'm calling it there. Yeah, there they are.
eLevate pulling it off in what perhaps did not look like the best push. I didn't think they were going to pull it off there. What I saw, Marxist, was KBK got separated really early from his players and was not able to get heals out, but in the end, the other players... they didn't need heals as they pull it off. They're taking this one in overtime, 5-4, and what a hell of a match and a hell of a finish for this first match that we covered here for Season 18 ESEA Invite.
Yeah, that was a long one there, Getawhale, but yeah, that last push was I, I was kind of had my doubts about it going in, but they got the gun quick and then isolated a couple players, and then that was it. And that on a big last like this, that's all you really need to do. And also run through the tape.
And run through the tape, yes. We should have started the run through the tape counter at the beginning there, but we got some players in chat who were talking about perhaps the beginning of 16-0 for eLevate, but it is a long season ahead of us. And if you liked what you saw tonight, I mean, we've got a hell of a lot of TF2 coming up the rest of the season. I mentioned it off the top, but if you don't follow us already, Team Fortress TV on Twitch, Team Fortress TV on YouTube, and Team Fortress TV on Twitter. There's a website too, I think, in there somewhere. Do you have any parting thoughts, Marxist? How do you feel about this marathon match that we saw?
It was pretty good. I wish it had happened a little bit earlier because I'm sort of losing it, but it's all good. That was good, solid TF2 for most of it. It'll be worth a rewatch for sure. Good way to start out the season. Unlike
Absolutely.
seasons ago where we had like technical problems for an hour or so and other such shenanigans, this was just a really great match.
It was indeed. So we're losing our minds a little bit, so we will end it right there. But we want to thank you guys for joining us. My name has been Getawhale. His name has been Marxist. Shoutouts to Dashner doing production and all those nice-looking things on camera. And that's it. Have a good night and take care.